between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Here we go. Set.
Now ETN to start the drive. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the play. Second down.
Got it.
And they'll go again with ETN. They're going to drop him behind the line yet again, and things going from bad to worse. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
Hey, let's go.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. Nobody ever wants the interception on the opening drive to happen, but when it happens in the playoffs, it feels like it's a bigger deal. What a rough start.
And how about these visitors? The defense just went right on the field and seized momentum. You know, almost like they're saying, okay, no one expects us to win this one. Let's go ahead and give them a shock early. Took the ball from the home team and put them in the hole.
Because this crowd, one of the best in the league, especially this time of year, it's going to be tough to take them out of it, but that's a heck of a start. First down carry for Harris. And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
From the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Harris running straight ahead. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Harris. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead.
So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
But ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Ready?
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown.
In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And that throw, wow, 72 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Off the play fake, here's Pickett. That's swung out wide to Harris.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to...
And it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it.
And the Jags are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They'll start on the ground, ETN, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's Lawrence to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Good running right there, and this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
To the air on first down with Pickett. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second down, this is Harris. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Well, throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Foyesade American. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On second down, a run with Etienne. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Now Lawrence. And able to find Kirk complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On second down, Etienne once more. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Here's Lawrence. Screenplay. Here's Etienne. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Patterson's kick is good. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in the first game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm about to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down.
Looking to throw, Pickett.
He'll let it fly for Austin. And that's caught inside the 35.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there.
1st and 10, here's Pickett.
And that is incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
On the give, this is Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On third down, here's Harris. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try.
Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. Boswell's kick is good, and that will cut the lead down to just 2. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And with a 2-point lead in hand, they may not do anything too aggressive here.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And this one is incomplete.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
Ready! Pilot, 64,
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And, Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
From the 27, Pickett.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Pickett. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Andre Cisco.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, they had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Again, it's Harris on second down.
Broke a tackle, but not much room there. Just up past the 25, no further. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Pickett now from the gun here.
He'll let it fly for Austin. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Andre Cisco.
So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Another tote for Etienne.
Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, here's Etienne.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this will do the job nicely, as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we...
And oh, that is going to be a safety. So the screen pass goes backwards. That play seemed to have a potential disaster written all over it from the start.
I mean, wasn't that a tough spot on the field to make that call? You're inviting defensive linemen and linebackers to get pressure. So if one of them sniffs this out, you're definitely in danger. And this time, it costs them 2 points.
And no chance to get away, as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Jags continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Now Pickett.
And now here's another interception.
And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough, but man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
They'll run with Etienne.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal.
From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt.
Patterson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points. But that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 6, just inside the 30. They run again with Harris. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. They hand this off to Harris, and tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Pickett, 4th down, desperation time.
And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Jags take over in terrific field position.
And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence.
Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Brewer.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
7 yards there and a 1st down.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
He finds his man, complete. That's Brewer.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN.
And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal.
From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here.
Patterson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
They're ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10.
55 rushing yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Here's Pickett. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here we go. It's Pickett on fourth down. That's caught. It's Austin left side. 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Calvin Austin, 71 yards. And the Steelers are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. But look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a two-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Well, that's true. You've said that before. Taking it right down Broadway. The 20. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Officially, that goes down as a kick return of 107 yards. What a run. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
63 yards rushing for him now to this point. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Bringing on first down, but this one winds up to be